Hey, welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to unravel the secrets to the Secret Ring coin shop. Now, I kindly ask you that if you wish to be more informed on events similar to this or content, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel and also follow me on Twitch, where I don't mind entertaining any questions that might be asked. Now, without further ado, I'm going to briefly go over this respective event and whether or not it's worth your time. Just so you know, this event fully lasts until September 19th, but the shop that is attached to this event will continue on until the 24th. So it finishes on the 25th UTC time. Now, with the Spiegelman and the Secret Ring shop, there really isn't much to the event. You collect tickets by hunting mobs. You can get a guaranteed 200 tickets a day. During your hunt, you can also encounter what I just showed you was these top secret tickets. These tickets have a pretty low drop rate, but they can help you to exceed your cap. They do not play into the 200 per day. As long as you're training or hunting or farming, you'll be able to get more than the perceived 200 per day. Now, whilst I haven't farmed too much, I've pretty much just been doing daily since the update. Um, I've acquired about 4 of these myself. It is yet to be determined whether or not they're affected by drop rate, but let's assume that they aren't for now. With that in mind, you can acquire up to 4,200 regular tickets throughout the course of the event. This includes the 2x Sunny Sundays. This means if you don't intend on grinding, your options are pretty limited to how you can acquire your currency. Now that you know how to get your tickets, let's show you what the shops are all about. Now, I'll go through the Neon Kiosk first because it's not as important, but I know some individuals value the cosmetics more than the rings themselves. Now, you can get various different rings. You can get a new label chat ring, an Android. So if you don't have, for those of you that are have a random heart, a fairy heart that you acquired from the previous event, but you forgot to get the Android, you can still get the Android from this. It'll also give you a level 30 heart in case. There's a unit damage skin, there's an outfit, and there's a mount. Now, this is again purely for those that are invested into the cosmetics. Not too much to worry about here. With regards to the other shop, now there's a lot to kind of digest. Well, not a lot, but just enough where it could be a little bit overwhelming. Now, keep in mind that these tickets are shared throughout your account within the world. So if you wanted to go cap tickets in another world, whether it's non-reboot or anything else of consideration, you can do so and you're not limited to how many tickets you can get. Now, the progress is shared throughout all your characters within the world. So you only have to worry about capping on one character, and then that ticket acquisition progress is shared. Now, with regards to the event, I believe you can only be level 101 plus to participate. So make sure your characters that you're trying to get rings on are at least level 101, just so that in case you're trying to get any boost of damage, you're not really halted. Now, the ring kiosk. The ring kiosk features 9 rings. Which of the first 6, or the top 6, just to show you real quick, help you towards your respective achievement. Now, in case you haven't seen this, once you've acquired all 6, you can get this chair. Now, this is probably the only event this year, in case you're an achievement gamer. This is probably the only event of this year that you can actually acquire these rings. Just to show you what it looks like real quick. There, voila. But otherwise, they usually bring some form of this event back, or other alternative means to get these rings. They usually bring it back at least once a year. So in case you don't want it this year, you can always consider getting it next year. To go back to the ring kiosk, of the 6 rings on the top, I'm going to go through each one of them and explain to you why they might be good or not good. The Master SS ring, I personally don't like this ring. Previously, there's RNG tied to it. Right now, it only gives you 10 stats more than the Cosmos or the Vengeful ring, so it's not that worthwhile. The Deep Dark Critical ring, I have the older version of it, but essentially it gives you 15 crit and crit damage. Now, obviously, there would be more stats available on this ring, but it's still a hefty cost for what you actually get out of it for a ring that's going to get easily replaced. The Synergy ring, you're kind of restricted to, you have to have the Synergy rings equipped at all times on your characters that you're planning on using them, just to make sure that you get the most amount of stats out of it. I don't like that. I personally prefer the Starforce rings that you can get raid power from, but to each their own. It is a cheaper alternative, but I personally would not invest my coins into this if it was of consideration. I'm going to skip the two in the middle, the Cosmos and the Vengeful. The complete Sylph ring, there'll be a picture that I'll post up on the screen, but just to kind of show you the stats breakdown, it only gets really about like 30 stats and 10 attack. Again, it is a cheaper alternative, so it is something that you can consider, but I personally would not invest in this unless I was going for the ring achievement. Now, the Cosmos and the Vengeful rings, these are probably the bang for the buck. This is what you probably want to be looking at when it comes to investment. Throughout the course of the event, you could almost get 4 of them. You would obviously need to spend some time training or farming for the top secret tickets, but at least try to work on 3. Now, I would only get 1 of these rings on 1 character. I wouldn't fill up 1 character with like 2 of the rings. I would only get 1 of the rings on 1 character. As you can see, we are limited to how many rings we can get in the world, and the coupons are untradeable. So you want to make sure that you are picking the characters that you want the rings the most on. To see a side-by-side comparison between these rings and the rings that you see below, the Tenebris and the Awake and the Glory ring, they all are marginally better than the other rings. They get 5 additional attack and approximately 20 more stat. While that is pretty good, if you're somebody who is chasing a little bit more damage, you can consider them, but again, very hefty cost associated to them. I personally would not invest in them just because you can realistically only get 1 of these rings and nothing else to support your account progression. For the sake of it, I'm gonna be honest, the enhance section isn't too valuable for me. When it comes to the XP coupons, you can get up to 5 of them per day. So these are worth considering in case none of the rings mean anything to you and you have excess amount of coins. The event ring cubes and the event and the unique pot scroll for the event rings. How I see it and how I've explained it in previous videos is that if you can pay Meso to acquire progression in the same area, don't waste your currency on it. So you can get solid cubes just from them dropping from bosses if you're lucky, but again, you could also cube for your progression by just using straight up Meso. So I wouldn't worry too much about the unique pot scroll or the event cube. I would primarily focus on getting the Cosmos and the Vengeful ring. Again, you can get more than 1 and you can stretch them across your account. The best use cases for these event rings, you will use them a little bit for damage, but you're not going to cube for damage. The best use case is to cube for either Meso obtain or drop rate, item drop rate. Chances are some of you might be struggling for node stone, so that's probably going to be the best use. Cubing for damage, there's nothing really wrong with that, but again, they do get replaced later on once you start pushing past the respective Starforce thresholds or milestones. To quickly compare side by side, these Reboot Cosmos Vengeful rings are equivalent to approximately a 17-star ring. There's probably slightly more attack on these rings and a little bit more stat available. But these are equivalent to a 17-star ring, while the 3 rings on the bottom are equivalent to an 18-star ring. And you'll see a side-by-side comparison. But yes, ultimately, your main takeaways: you want to get the Cosmos, the Vent, or the Vengeful Ring. You want to keep them for mess or an item drop, and then whatever extra currency you have remaining, you can spend however you would like. Thank you for coming out, taking the time. If you like more of this content, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Also, click the bell for notifications for when the next upload comes out. You can also ask me for help by joining my Discord or following me on Twitch. I do like to assist where I can, given the opportunity. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you next time.